I guess it's us and Wes Anderson that are going to try to get very storybook, I guess. You know what I mean? Like his stuff, maybe ours is a little more photographic. You know, his is just truly illustration, which is cool because who else is doing that? But that has a high price as far as your schedule and the level of precision you have to execute.
Standing before me was death, but I'd never been so happy.
You have worked with Robert Eggers in 6 movies already. What makes him special? What is his unique vision that it draws you to work with him?
He just does a lot more work than everybody else, first of all. And the other thing is that, we just have similar tastes, and that's kind of critical. So it's much more difficult. You're trying to like stretch to sort of see what someone else is seeing and what appeals to them when you don't inherently. Those things don't necessarily have as much appeal to you, So like maybe there's certain modernism that I might appreciate that he doesn't, but the Venn diagram, with our two tastes is very thick.
That's very cool.
That's good.
I noticed that the movie has a lot of shots like a portrait shots.
Sure.
And I'm curious, is that planned or that's wanted to be in a specific? I don't know, like you wanted to create something specific because it's a lot of frames, a lot of portraits, and for me, it's very interesting that.
Yeah, I mean, it's I guess it's us and Wes Anderson that are going to try to get very storybook, I guess. You know what I mean? Like his stuff, maybe ours is a little more photographic. His is just truly illustration, which is cool because who else is doing that? But that has a high price as far as your schedule and the level of precision you have to execute. So but that's just a lot of fun to just. So much life is compromised, so to be able to just let your OCD run wild is just really scratches that itch.
At least in the past 2 movies, in Norman and this one, lighting is really important. When there's fire, when candlelight.
It's always important, but sure, yeah.
Yes, but I'm curious because this one is black and white. And how's that work? Like it's because I felt. When you work with shadows, with revealing of Orlok for the first time, there's something beautiful behind this. So we know it's a black and white, but we know there's fire, and the revealing is super slow. And even from the trailer, we see the hands, and we feel something's going to happen. But it's that work with lighting and shadows.
We're not taking a lot of. At least I didn't take a lot of just direct visual reference from the original, with the exception of, we wanted to bring that shadow work in our own way, So, we're gonna do hands. We're gonna do it a few different ways. We have the shot from the trailer of the hand over the city. We're gonna have, kind of window patterns later on in the movie, and you see, Orlok and silhouette, in profile crossing, and then it becomes his hand, and the hand goes up the door, and etc. We're just trying to give enough diversity, and also not to overstay its welcome or do it too many times. But yeah, that's a lot of testing as far as how to get the lighting ratios right to on a white wall generally, or how busy can a wall be while still reading the shadow. How to different. Can you, if you rake it at one angle, how does it read versus just kind of hitting it flat, et cetera. So yeah, that was kind of fun. And then, there's a lot of just the lighting had to be super, super, super hard for that. So, I'm trying to bring the light as far back as possible to get it as crisp as possible. I'm using convex mirrors to then make it even crisper, so crisper than real moonlight. So we had fun.
In my conversation with David White, I mentioned that we have different outlooks. We have different outlooks because there's a transformation. And I want to focus on 2 scenes that for me are my favorite. It's when we see Orlok for the first time, when he stood up in front of Nicholas, and we see this presence, this approaching to him. And the other one, when a door is open and he's holding 2 childs. That we see the whole figure, and it's super...
the 2 wolves, you mean?
Yes. When he's eating the 2 kids.
Oh, later, yeah.
Yeah, later in the movie, that we see the whole It's like a whole picture of him. It's like Jupiter with the Goya
Oh,
gold
right.
paint
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. Those two scenes for me are super pivotal for the for to be scared about the character. And how was that work with the different outlooks? Because you have to have first the hand, first we see half a whole look, then we see the whole figure, and then in the boat. To me, is super awesome too. So how was that work with Orlok, with the presence of him?
We very carefully designed how to just drip or lock out until the first big reveal, and you see him in the crypt. So, and after that, it's then we don't want to then all the rules we can be free after that, but prior to the crypt and the reveal and the corpse and everything, it was obviously very intentional, how to just eke that out. And fortunately, he only lives at night, so he's never going to be too clear. So
Yeah.
even after we revealed him, you're not getting him like totally naked until the end, in the sunrise. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but
No, you do, of course. And why shooting in 35 millimeters? I mean, it's easier for you than to have these images,
we don't
or
do anything as easy.
okay.
I'll say that first. So we just want to do the best. We want to make it look as good as we can. So, and we just like the way it looks, and we like how it reacts with lenses. And I just love the tonal palette. I love how your highlights go on forever, but your shadows tend to be a little harder and crisper. It's just and then the colors are just more complex than with a digital camera. I just like it. Looks
But
good.
also with the actor, with Lily, it's very physical. She's very physical. How was working with her? Because you have to show her in the whole body and then her face. It has to be very specific because her face she's very expression. Like her expression is super scary, and you have to have these first frames of her. And did you create that with a vintage before a rehearsal, or is it something that you create?
I mean, yeah, it's all done with Lily, but also Marie Gabrielle Roti, who's the movement coordinator. So we storyboard kind of the whole movie before actors show up, except for very physical performance that might have a giant impact on where the camera should be. So these possession scenes with the back bend, or the later one with the Buto face where she's drooling and her eyes go back in her head and all that stuff. We got to sort of see that and have a dialogue for a couple weeks together to see how to structure the camera work, and what moments are about the face and what moments are about bigger physicality. Obviously the camera needs to be further away, and they're going to put something together, but and I might see it and be like, well, you're putting a kind of a face between the two bigger pieces. What do we just kind of progress it, like start with a face and work out wide? Or I'm always going to try to distill it into something that has a kind of a linear progression, either one way or the other. So it kind of builds towards something, and then et cetera, and then we'll all kind of talk it through and then figure out where it is. And it's on a bed. Where do I best see this face? Is it, how do you feel about turning this way versus that way? Okay, so that way, that means the camera's on this side of the bed. Great. I want the lamp on that side, or I want the lamp on this side of the bed, and then it all kind of, you get one puzzle piece, and then it, in the jigsaw puzzle, it kind of makes finding the next one easier, the more you have on the table.
Jarin, I just want to say congratulations for your Oscar nomination, and thank you for your time, man. I really enjoy your work.
Thank you.